Hi, everybody. It's Janet, and you're here with me at Fruit of the Vine Art Studio in Cincinnati, Ohio. I really appreciate you being here with me. I just wanted to mention once again, there's still time to enter the contest to win this adorable sled. All you have to do is go to my page, Fruit of the Vine Art Studio, and at the top of the page, you'll find this under Featured. Just click on it, like it, give it a thumb up, make a little comment, share it along to your friends, and on the 13th, next Wednesday at 8 p.m., I'm going to put all the names on a wheel, and I'm going to have a winner picked random on the wheel, and we'll see who wins this adorable sled. It's a 12-inch wooden sled with that beautiful painting on it. So if you're interested in that and you like it, this is my Christmas giveaway this year for 2023, and you've got time to get in. Anyway, today, now, I've got this cute little design, and I've done quite a few things with this design. You may have been with me when you've seen me do the little leprechaun, Lucky. He fell into the pot of gold. There we go, he hangs on the door. Or you might have possibly been with me when I did The Witch is In. Now there's this one. She's fallen into the cauldron. There's bubbles coming up everywhere. Today, we're going to do an elf in the bag. And it says, do not open until Christmas. So this one little design is so versatile. You can do so many different things with this. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let me move some of this over just a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to be using, of course, Christmas colors, red and green, a couple of different shades, and I'm going to use a little bit of gold. So, I'm going to tilt you down here, and we are going to go ahead and get started. There we go. That'll be good, I think, right there. Kind of tilted a little bit. Everything always gets tilted here. I've got hot glue on everything this morning because I was in the kids club and we made an ornament and it required some hot glue and those strings go everywhere. It makes such a mess. Anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is I'll turn this around towards you guys, and you can see I've already got it drawn on here. Maybe I should scoot back a little bit, and that way it's a little further up on the screen and it'll show better when it's when it condenses itself for viewing. However you want to put it, when it condenses itself, when it gets that way you can view it on your phone. If you're just scrolling through, you'll still see it. Anyway, to start with, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out some green. I've got this just, you can't call it primary green, it's just emerald green is what it's called. So I'm just going to put some of that right here on my palette. And I'm going to go ahead and get out a little bit of white and some black. Let me shake that white down. There we go. A little bit of red. I'm getting it on me, but of course I am. When do I ever paint and not get it on me, right? That was the black that got me. Okay, to start off with, is this a green teal and grass green? I don't know if that's much different than what we're using. I think that's probably pretty much the exact same color. I'm looking to see if I've got another shade of green that's slightly, or very, kind of vastly different. I think I'm going to go with the, maybe I'll add a little apple tart to the green that I've got. And that way, we can make a lighter shade of green to go with it for our elf legs. So to start off with, I'm just going to take this, about a number 8 round brush, get it slightly wet, but knock that water off. Oops, dropped it right back in there. It didn't help a thing, did it? You just never know. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint the bag. Let that get drying. And I'm just going to use emerald green for this. I can see a hair on here. Get that off. And as you can see, I've already done it. Everything that's done here has been done with a Sharpie marker. And we can see through it quite easily. So if you bought kits from me, basically what I do is I take that Sharpie marker and I draw the kit, or I draw the design onto it for you. And then all you have to do is basically what I'm doing here. We're just putting paint on it, simple as can be. Now I'm going to make that red, so I'm going to go over that just a little bit differently here. But for now, we can just fill this part in. Don't want that to look that way. And I'm going to do the sides of it because we'd like it to have a finished look. I know a lot of people talk about, do you do the back of it? If you'd like, if you order one from me that I've painted for you and you want the back of it done, just tell me. Do I normally paint the back? No, I generally don't paint the back. I stamp it with my Fruit of the Vine stamp. And that's kind of what I do to the back of it. But I know other people, some want it painted on the back. So if you want it painted on the back, you just mention it and it happens. Almost like magic, but not quite like magic. I mean, you have to tell me. All right, I'm just going around this where he's got the little rope coming out of the bag. Right here under the word not. Just pushing it up in there. I'm going to turn it around a little bit for myself here so it'll be a little bit easier for me to see what I'm doing. And that's going to be, the knot will be white. I mean, the rope's going to be white. So I'm trying not to get too much of the green on there either. Of course, a little bit's going to get on everything, I assume, because that's just the way it goes. But that's okay because, you know, you just wait for it to dry and you can just paint right over it. It's not a big deal at all. Like I always say, what we do here, this is fun art. Not fine art. We're doing some fun art. No need to stress over it. Enjoy what you do. I really find it to be quite calming. I really enjoy painting. And I should probably get a smaller brush to do what I'm doing right here. But I'm not. I'm just going to keep doing it because I'm going to make that red where the word not is. There we go. Now I just need to go around these little notches that I've drawn here for the rope. Right in there. Okay, turn it a little bit and work on this spot. Oh, I can see a little spot right there where the green didn't take. Sometimes you just have to move it. The lights in this room are set up for your viewing pleasure and not necessarily for me to be able to see what I'm doing. Sometimes it's helpful to be able to see what I'm doing, guys. Think just a little. Now, you wonder to yourself, you know, if you buy this and you just paint it yourself, is it ready to just go outside as soon as you paint it? Well, no, honestly, you shouldn't just put it out right away. It really needs about, 48 hours or so to get good, dry, and cured, so to speak. And then really, if you're going to be putting it somewhere where it's going to be in the elements, where the rain is going to get on it, the snow is going to get on it, where the sun's shining directly on it, well, then you're going to want to put some kind of an acrylic sealer on it. That's what I use. I use clear acrylic sealer, like Rust-Oleum, in a spray can. That's what I buy, and I do that. If you like resin, then you can also use resin. A lot of people do resin them. But you do want to put some sort of a protective shield on the paint, some sort of a protection. You want to use spray or resin or something like that to protect it from the elements. All right. Now, let me put just a little bit more right in here. This looks awfully thin to me, and I'd like that to look a little better covered, better coverage. I don't want it to look so thin. Deeper, deeper green. I want that emerald to really look emerald. A little bit darker right there as well. Now, while that's still wet, I'm just going to touch my brush into this black. I'm just touching the brush into the black and then wiping most of that black right off of there. And I'm just going to kind of bring it right in along the sides of the bag here, just to give the bag a little bit of shading under the bottom. A little up the sides. And then I'm going to dip back into the green. And I'm going to bring it all the way up the side here, and a little underneath this way. Because the bag is rounded and it needs to have a little bit of shading on it that gives you that rounded impression. So we're just going to keep dragging a little more green right in here with it. Like this. Get me a little bit for on this side here. And maybe just get a little bit more of that shading right underneath here. Okay, see how it kind of gives it a rounded look just by adding a little bit of black around the edges? Now I'm going to go back into that green again, the emerald green, and I'm going to work on this part right here. Just filling this in above the rope. Turn this a little bit. Get some paint down towards the end of my tip of my brush. Yeah, getting a little bit in spots I don't really want it to be right there, but that's all right. I'm not going to even worry about it. There we go. Get this on the side. There we go. Once again, I'm going to touch, just a touch of that black, rub it off, basically. Put some of it right above where the rope is. Maybe some right here where it's curved down a little bit. Over here on this side, just a smidge. Don't want much of it. Get me a little more of the green. Blend that in with it. Okay, so now the bag's kind of got some natural shading going around it. Kind of gives it more of a rounded sort of look. Pretty simple, pretty easy to do. Let me see. I should probably... Let's try switching over to this little brush. We'll see how he works. I think I'm going to put you right here for right now. And I'm going to go to the red. And I'm just going to start working on every other line on his stockings. Does an elf wear stockings? I'm assuming they have to be stockings. You wouldn't call them tights. Although I suppose you could. I'm going to turn the red around this way so I'm not dipping into that green for whatever crazy reason that I might just dip into the green. Because you know me, I might just dip right into the green while I'm painting with the red. Trying to talk and paint at the same times, and sometimes my brain just gets overload, can't do it. I mean, it happens. Sometimes it happens. Say I'm going to do something, forget all about it while I'm painting. I'm going to do this before I quit. No, you don't. You forget all about it. It's like, shoot, man, I meant to do that. I'm going to get the edge here while it's on my mind. Now, do you think I should make his stockings red and white or red and green? I'm trying to decide. Because there's going to be a lot of green on there, and that might make it... Maybe I should do candy cane stockings, red and white. Bring that up. Okay. And then it wouldn't even matter about which, like this I was worried would end up with green next to the boot, which it would. Instead, I'm going to make his stockings red and white. And that way, the green boot will still look perfectly fine, regardless of which stripe ends up where. tilt him up just a little bit. Paint that stocking stripe. Turning this way and work on this side a little bit. We'll make this one red. There we go. Probably going to end up opposite the other one, but that's okay. If we can just get the stripes about the same size, that's your main objective. Around the same size. And as you do these, you want to make sure that you don't just make it go straight. That doesn't give the illusion of a rounded leg. You want it to have a round look to the legs. So when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you draw your lines with curves, not straight across. That way it looks like it's going around the leg. Let's remember to do this on the side here. Well, actually, it worked out the same, didn't it? That's perfect. Bad time of year for the ambulances and the fire trucks to be running up and down the road. Gotta say a little silent prayer for whoever that is that's in need right now. That's a lot. That's a lot going up the street there. Okay, one more right here. And we're going to go down here and work on the word not. And that blue, that green did get in there, and I do see it, so it'll take another layer on this word. And then I'm going to probably use a paint marker, a paint pen, whatever you want to call it, to do the lettering, to do the words. And I'm going to use a white one, if I can find one here that'll work for me. If not, I may have to just actually paint it. Which is fine. If I have to end up painting it, that's fine too. I do really like this design. This is such a cute design. You can do so many things with it. Or at least you got 3 holidays you can do with it that I've found so far. Halloween with the witch, and the leprechaun for St. Patrick's Day, and an elf for Christmas. One little fun design does it all. All right. Now, as you can see, it's going to need another layer because you can see the green through it. But that's okay. We've got time to do another layer. Let's get some gold and do that for a moment, because I'm going to need some gold out. Not very much, though. And we're going to do these little bells on the tips of his shoes. With some gold, and we'll do the buckles with some gold. Let's get it all the way around the outside. And yeah, I'll be using black on there too, but that's all right. We'll get the gold on here while we're working on it. Actually, I can just paint it gold and not worry about it. And then go over it with black. Okay, and we're going to do this little buckle. And we'll probably have to go back over these. But that's okay. Okay, and let's get this bell right here. Little jingle bells on his toes. Right now, the poor fellow is all caught up in the bag. He can't get out. He's stuffed in there with the presents. And he's stuck till Christmas. Do not open until Christmas, as it says on the outside. But then again, maybe one of the reindeers or something will find him and help him get out of there. Such a terrible predicament. Okay, we're going to put a gold ribbon on this one. Pretty present with a gold ribbon on it. Push that off of there. Got it just on the bend of his leg. And here they go again. All right. Oh, here comes more of them. It must be something horrible happening up the street. Okay. See how his little jingle bells and his little belt or his little shoe buckles look? They came out pretty cute. We're going to get some white. Turn this away. And get some white and work on this here rope. Take this over the edge. And we're going to kind of do them in little glob circles. Just one little circle after the next. And I'm putting them on pretty thick. I want them to stay wet for a second. Uh-oh, there went something. A notification. Sorry about that, guys. I want them to stay wet long enough for me to come back and mess with them a little more. Because I'm going to add just the tiniest bit of black to give this rope some shade, so that it doesn't look like just some big old white blobby thing going around here, which is kind of how it's beginning to look. Here's where it's tied in the knot. Getting too carried away worrying about that. Take it back over here and work on this piece, because I want to get back to the other part while they're still wet. Right here. Blob right there. Another blob. I guess you're one blob right there. No, you need to be two blobs. Yes, the rope got out of whack, huh? That's all right. Okay, now while the white's still on here, I'm just going to touch the black just the tiniest bit. Get me a little more white. And I'm mixing me a gray. And then I'm going to take the gray and just kind of go along the edge of one side. Just a little more black. It's going to get too white too quick. Working it around a little bit to where it kind of gives some shading to our rope. One a little under the bottom here. Okay, I'm going to put some going. That's a little too dark. There we go. Lighten it up just a wee bit. There's the knot. Just kind of making a little C-type shape, basically, is what I'm doing. A little gray right here. And some gray right in here. So now we can see the little rope tied with the knot. Need a little bit of gray right in there. There we go. I need some on this edge, just a little bit. What's that? Don't know. It's got to go. All right, now we're going to rinse that off. Go back into the straight white and do those other lines on his stockings. We decided we're calling them stockings. Yes, his legs could have been all just plain red too, couldn't they? Sort of like the elf on the shelf. His legs are all just plain red. He doesn't have any stripes to his socks. So I guess that would have been an option as well. I didn't think about that. But that's okay. He'll be fine in his striped stockings. His little stripy socks. Trying to decide what color I should make the gift. Maybe it should just be a red gift. There's not much red on here so far. That line didn't come out very well, did it? Get it here on the side. A little on this side, on the inside. Doing this inside while I'm just looking at it, while I've got it up here and I can actually see without that light kind of shining on it brightly. Not that I'm trying to keep you from seeing what I'm doing. I just sometimes have to see what I'm doing. Or it's helpful to actually see what I'm doing. You think? Just a wee bit. That one, and let's get that one. There we go. Get my hair out of my face so I can see. All right, we've got this side painted. Turning this away. Smooth down some clumps I can see. Work on this leg. Right to there. And right there, just make that kind of smooth if I can. Smooth it down a little bit. And this is where his knee's bent, so it kind of just goes back to a little point right there. And then sort of spreads out a little bit, going around his knee. Ready for this one? A little more paint. And get over here on the edge. Moving on to this one. Are you guys ready for Christmas yet? Have you got everything bought? I am not. I really got to get myself moving. I've still got commissions that I'm working on, and a couple that I haven't even truly got started yet that I got to get done. But things will get done. Have no fear. I'm not worried about it not getting done. It's going to get done. Just might take a little bit longer than anticipated, but it'll be done for Christmas. That's for sure. By Christmas. To give for Christmas. Okay, this one right here now. Have you gone to any of the lights? Gone to see any of the lights? We went to Pyramid Hill and saw their lights for the first time. That was our first time down there, and boy, was that impressive. That was really nice. They had thousands and thousands of lights. I tried to upload a reel, but when I go to try to look at that reel, it just looks like it's blank. So I don't know what happened with that. The reel itself, or if it was the video, or if it was Facebook, or what happened. But my reel just up and disappeared. It's just blank looking. So I gotta try to work on making another one to put up for you so that you can see that one. I've been having all kinds of odd things happening. Like when I get ready to go live, it'll tell me there's an error and it can't do that query, whichever. I mean, and it's not just this page, it's on my other page too. So it's like, what is it doing? What's going on? Got the same internet that I've always had. Nothing's changed here. Slow connection pops up. And it's like, well, what in the heck's going on? Who's slowing my connection down? Here's where we're at so far. That's looking cute, isn't it? Okay, we're going to put a red package between his legs. Maybe turn it a little bit. Try to get a bit of a better view. I don't want to touch that white. I just did on the rope because it doesn't appear to be quite ready yet. I'll work this up on here. Get right in here next to that line. Just fill this in real quick. Go. Don't want to get it down here in the green now. I got to be careful. Excuse me. Let me work on this right here in this little corner. Kind of wanted my ribbon to look like it was going over the edges there, so we'll put a little bit of shading when we go to do this. Get a little more red. This little square or triangle shape. It's not a square, it's a triangle shape. Smooth that down some. See how the package looks sitting there now? And let's see. Should I make this green? I haven't really decided what that really actually is yet. I'm not sure what it is. Have to make it something though, don't I? How about some lime green? We'll put some lime green on this gift. And nobody will be really sure what the heck that is. It's just something on the package. It's just something coming out of the gift bag. Be anything you want it to be. maybe we'll just make this light green too. Let me get some of that red off of there. And if they say, what is that? You say, that's an oddly shaped gift. I don't know, it's an oddly shaped gift. Something sticking out of the bag. Something we're not quite sure. Let me get a touch of white right here. Get that red out of there before I start messing in the white. I got the green down just a little too far. There we go. Fix that up. I'm going to take a touch of emerald and put it right there. Alright, that's looking pretty good, looking pretty good, looking pretty good. We're going to go back and let's see. I wonder if I should give him light green shoes. No, I'll give him the dark green shoes. We can highlight them with light green. Turn my palette around a little bit so I don't start dipping in the red while I'm looking at the green. Right up over this edge here. Hey, when you hop on, I'd really love it if you'd say hi and tell me where you're watching from. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate knowing you're here. I know it's a busy Saturday. And most folks are out shopping. It's that time of year. It's the most wonderful time of the year. No, I shall not sing. I just did. Don't want that to chase you off. Aha. Very well might. I know nobody else wants to listen to me sing, so. But you know what? The sound of singing is nothing more than the sound of a happy soul. So no matter how good someone sings or how poorly they sing, let them be, because that's just their happiness coming out. All right, little shoes. Little green shoes. Let's get them around the edge. And just get that on there. That looks kind of thin right here. This little bottom of his shoe. Get it? Pretty much. Now I've got that song going around in my head. That's what happens with Christmas music. It gets started in your head, and all of a sudden you can't get rid of it. I like Christmas music, though. But sometimes it will drive you bonkers. Oops. Come back over here. Where are you going? We've been around a few of the little streets down around our house, too. There's a place called Maley Place. And if you're local and you haven't been down Maley Place yet, it's off of Sylvad in the Green Township. It's off of Sylvad. It's called Maley, M-A-Y-L-E-E. Maley Place. And the whole street, all around the sidewalks, all kinds of lights, all kinds of stuff. It is literally gorgeous, beautiful. And it's so exciting to see all the people. You can get out and you can walk the street. They have a place where they do collect non-perishables. You can bring cans or dry goods and stuff like that to donate. They have a donation bin. And it's just so beautiful to see a whole street so involved with getting this done. And that street is gorgeous. We went to one that's up in Cheviot. And we went there about 3 times. I guess he works a little late. Whoever lives there, they work a little bit later because it doesn't light up until, well, not quite right, after 6. It was about 6:30 when we went by, and it was lit. The few times we had gone before that, it was just a little around 6, and it wasn't lit yet. So I'm assuming he must work and get home after 6. But his had tons and tons of the old school characters. Angels and Santa Clauses and snowmen and stuff like that. Tons and tons of lights. And of those plastic, 2 to 3 foot tall characters. And from what they said on the news, this guy has been collecting these things since the 60s. So he's probably around my age. Not that, I was collecting anything in the 60s. In the 60s, I was a child. I didn't have any collection. I was collecting baby dolls. That was my collection. I collected baby dolls. All the baby dolls I could get. Bring me more baby dolls. Did have a love for dolls. As does the average girl. Okay, let's see. How are we? That looks pretty good. Let's give this a little rinse. Get that light green. Apple tart, whatever you want to call it. Apple tart, I believe, is the actual name. Get a little apple tart on his sock or on his shoes. There we go. Little apple tart on this shoe. Just dripping over the edge. I don't want it to do that and leave no glob hanging over the edge. Hello. Will Coco come up to visit? She must be wondering what I'm doing up here so long. All right. Make that just a little more green. Okay, I'm going to touch just a touch of the black and mix that in with the green. Get me some of that darker looking green again. So that, what is that? Get off of there. I'm going to have this shoe have a little bit right there and then underneath. Just a touch of the black. Get some of that right in here. Right where it connects onto the bell. A little bit of dark right on the top of the shoe. And maybe just a smidgen right in here. Just to shade it a little bit. Okay, so now you can see his shading on his shoes. It just takes a little touch of the black to add the shading, and that's it. Just a small amount. Rinse that just real quick. Gonna touch a touch of the black with some red. Make me a deeper red. And then we're going to use that to just kind of add a little bit of contrast underneath where that is. The ribbon goes across, where it's coming out of the bag and on the side. Of the package. Now you can see the package has a little bit of shading that goes around. Maybe this should be a little more shaded right in this spot. There, now that gives the box a little more shading to it, giving it more of a look that's like it's actually sitting in there. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the limey green. With that limey green, we're going to touch that black and then touch that lime green. A little more dark. Okay, and then we're going to just shade this side of the box. And we'll shade this. the side here by his leg. We're not sure really what it is yet, but that's okay. We're not even going to worry about it. Put a little bit of shade on the inside of the buckle. Just a little bit. Now I think we're ready for some black. To get you. Drop of water with my black to thin it down a little bit. Right across through here. Okay, that gives his little bell the we're just going to kind of bring it right up over the top here a little bit. And sort of take it off this way. Sort of give it a bell look. And then next to the shoe, right here, we need to darken this in. Get that white on there. There, get that off. Get off, white. I don't want you on there. All right, we're going to do this little side over here. See how it makes a little bell look on his toes? And then we'll just bring that right around here. Make that little line right there. Come over here and do the same thing. Go. Put this in right here on the side. Oh. Get this little part of his boot right here where it's going in, and just fill this in right here. And then it's about time to start outlining and having some fun. Let's outline the buckle. Right on the inside. That one's a little thick. That's okay. We're not going to stress on that. I'm not even going to draw it on the side. Because that's just being extra, isn't it? That's just being extra. Just like you won't draw it on the sides with the stockings. There we go. See how the shoes show up? Real cute. That looks real cute. There we go. There's that one. It's a little thick. I need to add some water to it. Okay. There we go. Once you get to outlining it, it really starts helping it come together and start really looking like it's popping, doesn't it? I really like that part of it when you get to that point. Here we put this way. That line comes straight up here. Where am I at? Right here. Put that right there. We're going to turn him around. Go work on this side. There's his shoes. These little stocking lines. Here we go. Fill that in right there. Let's draw this little stocking knee. Right there. right around here. Excuse me. There we go. That made the line for me. I was worried I was going to run out of paint before I could get that far, but it made it. Now let's see about the present. Draw our little lines here. Just go ahead and draw it on that edge, even though that's really... There. I'm going to make that just a little bit thicker. I'm not going to worry about it being thick. That kind of helps highlight it. Thicken this up a little bit. There. Here's his thigh. And then he's got a couple of little wrinkles where his socking is. Make that curve just a little bit more right there. So he's kind of got one leg in front of the gift and one leg behind the gift is what's going on. I had a feeling that would be too thick, but that's all right. I'm not going to worry about that either. Because it looks fine. You can see the gift. Right there. Woo! Ha! Gotta be careful here, Janet. What are you doing? We'll put a little sack around that, whatever that is. We don't know. It's just something in the bag, right? It's just something that's in the bag. Nothing to worry about. Make it whatever you want. Rubbing paint all over myself, am I? Not yet. Just going around the bottoms of the rope and kind of not completely going around it, but just sort of giving it shape. My brush is having a problem right at the edge. That's okay. We're not going to worry about that either. Got to get my hair out of my face so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. That rope looks fine. Just kind of giving it a tide look to it. Little bit right there. Let me get this and see if I can't. There we go. That worked out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. Let me outline this little thing here at the end of the rope. Hey, and we are getting there at this point, are we not? We surely are. I'm going to rinse this off. Get that black off of there. Go back into my red and see if I can't cover some of these spots where the green is coming through and keeping it from being very vibrant looking. Maybe right across there. Hi, Steve. Thanks for commenting. I appreciate that. Okay, maybe a little bit right there. That's kind of got a dark look to it right in here. So we'll just add a little more paint and lighten that up a little, vibrant it up a little bit. Now I'm thinking to myself, I hope that the white will cover the black writing that I've put down. I sure hope so. All right. We're about ready to finish this. Still see just a touch of it right there, why ever that wants to keep showing. Okay. Will you work? I hate to start with one of these and it doesn't work right, and then I get all frustrated and aggravated that it's not doing what I want it to do. Here's a couple more. That one's not even open yet. See how you do. Very fine line. I wish it was a little thicker. Trying to see if I can hold it a little bit sideways and make the lettering thicker. And I know this looks backwards to you all. My phone does not have the capability to flip it. And maybe someday I'll buy me an iPhone or something that does. But for now, I'm still just an Android user. And really don't have much of intentions to change, to be honest. I like my Android. Although I'm sure if I had an Apple, I would love my Apple. I think if I was to get Apple for anything, it would just be mainly to get Procreate. I'd love to find a way to get Procreate without having to have the Apple product. Trying to make them just a little bit thicker. You know, writing like this didn't get easier for me until I stopped looking at it as writing and began looking at it as truly painting. How do you make the letters? How do you do that? Where do you thicken it at? It took me a while to figure those things out. And by no longer looking at it as writing, I'm just trying to paint thicker lines in this spot and thinner lines in that area. Really, where you're making it thicker is on every one of the down strokes. If it's going downward, it needs to be thicker. So like this side of the U is going to be thicker because this side of the U goes down. This side of the N would be thicker because this side of the N goes down. Now the L's kind of easy. The whole thing's a little bit thicker because it's just all going straight down. Well, don't go crooked. Okay. Do not open until... I'm going to have to outline that knot, I believe. Uh-oh. Now we got the red on it. Rub that off. Still getting the red on it. There, let's get some white down. We'll go back over here in this white that I pulled off. There we go. line in it, trying to keep my line straight. Okay. Kind of splatters a little bit as it goes around. Don't know why it's wanting to do that. I guess because it's wood, which kind of pushes the tip a little crazier. If you don't go over it a couple of times, it kind of soaks right into the wood. Okay, now that really shows up. Wipe that red off of there. Get me some white back down. There we go. Make this thicker right here going down. That's going up. This is going down, so this is going to be thicker right here. Thicker going down on the S. Okay, coming up the T. And then going down this side of the T is going to be thick. Just kind of making the line next to it and then just filling it in as I go. My throat is really tickling right now. I wish I had a drink of water up here. My eyes are even watering at this point. I don't know what's tickling my throat, but I needed to quit. Or at least need to be able to see. Where I'm going with this. Okay. Now we've got it all colored in. We're going to add a couple of fun white lines. I'll put one right here at the back of his heels. A couple of wrinkles on his shoes. Oh, my eyes are really watering. Maybe around the front here. A little bit under the bell. Under the bell. Right along through there. Now it's making my nose run. Oh, guys. Something's getting me. All right. Gotta make a white line that goes just like this down his stockings. Let me get a little more white come down. Maybe. On that leg. Put a white line on the inside. Right up around his knee. A little bit on the back of this thigh. A little bit right there in the wrinkles. Put a white line right there. And we'll put a squiggly right line on that because we're not really even sure what we're doing with that there. Okay, and let's put a white line on the top of this thigh. Sorry. I know I'm a hot mess right now. At least my throat's not itching. It quit that. Right down like that. Okay, and then one here. Kind of bringing it around that way. A little underneath. And I think that's probably about as much as we need on there. I'm thinking that looks about right to me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I appreciate you being here with me today. And here we have it. Do not open until Christmas. I think he turned out really cute. Here we have Lucky from St. Patrick's Day. Here, stand up, buddy. Let me hold you right there. And we've got the Witch's End. So there's all three of them, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I appreciate you. And I'll see you again real soon. Bye.